The world, cancer is characterized by the uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells occurring in multiple phases. There are many causes of cancer. They include heredity, alcohol, tobacco, chemicals, radiation, lifestyle and environmental factors, as well as chronic inflammation. But scientists are burning the midnight oil as they continue to research and try and find life-changing cancer medications. And we're joined right now in the studio to take this discussion forward by Kgothatso Motumi. She's the Medical Affairs Director for Roche, South Africa. The company is also involved in the development of life-saving medication. Kgothatso, a very good morning and thank you so much for coming through to our studio today.
Good morning to you too, and thank you for having me.
We just marked World Cancer Day recently. What kind of activities were you engaged in this regard?
So what we like to do is around this time of the year especially is to try and really go into more disease area awareness campaigns. And what we like to do that for is because a lot of times cancer is a disease of opportunity, and a lot of people don't realize that they have the disease and wait too long before they're diagnosed. So our aim at Roche is always to try and get the patient to try and go to their doctors or go to their physicians early enough that we can catch the disease, and then they have more treatment options once that's actually determined that which type of cancer they have. So our campaigns are mostly around patient education so that the public knows what to look for and what signs are dangerous and what needs to be taken seriously so that they can get the treatment they need.
So there's two sides to the story, what people can do to keep cancer away, but also latest innovations in terms of treatment. What's happening on both sides?
So what we try to do on both sides, we try to do actually both parts of the story, because I mean this disease is, you need multiple stakeholders to help you with the disease. So you need firstly the patients to know what's going on with them, seek help early enough, and then you need the doctors themselves to be able to identify the disease and to be able to get the correct treatment. So from our side at Roche, what we focus on is really research into the unmet needs that patients have. So diseases like breast cancer, for instance, cervical cancer, and making sure that we have treatments available in those diseases that are affecting people.
Another conversation is about the inaccessibility of treatment, how exorbitant it is to access medication or treating processes. Are you involved at all in this space?
So we are. So a lot of times we find it's not just the accessibility of the drug in terms of price. A lot of the instances where the obstacles are found is in access to the actual institutions themselves. So a lot of patients maybe in the outlying areas are unable to go seek help early enough. They themselves don't know what is something that's, you know, that they need to be looking out for. So our aim and our programs that we run programs in, you know, Limpopo, Eastern Cape, just to mention a few of them. We try to make sure the patients themselves are educated, know what to look for, that the primary care doctors that they're seeing know when to refer and when to send these patients to the right places like the oncology unit to make sure that they get this treatment.
Are you working at all with government in terms of the public health provision space?
Absolutely. So a lot of, one of our stakeholders among many others is the government, because what we try to do with the government is to make sure, you know, to support them and make sure that they have the access available, because like I said, it's not just about is the drug available, but are the facilities themselves there. In order to diagnose the disease, you need to have biomarkers available. You need to be sure that the patient has the right type of cancer that can be treated with that disease. So we help government with a lot of those things, making sure that those aspects of the disease are also taken care of.
Which cancers are more prevalent in South Africa?
So in South Africa, commonly what we have for women tends to be breast cancer, cervical cancer. For men, the more common one tends to be prostate cancer. All of these have treatment options available, and what patients really need to do is to make sure they reach out for help and in time, and then something can be done.
What are some of the unknown ones?
So the unknown ones tend to be more things like pancreatic cancer, so it's not as common, and a lot of people, the presentation itself is very vague. People just feel nauseous, unwell. They can't really describe what that means, so they don't, you know, no one realizes what's wrong until it's very late in the disease.
Yeah. So all in all, as we wrap up our conversation, what can we say about the prevalence, the treatment, the interventions with regards to cancer in 2019?
So my main advice would be to patients, look out for, the campaigns running currently, the I Can, hashtag I Can and I Will. And what is that really is to make sure people
Which
are
is the
aware.
main theme of the Cancer Day for the year.
Absolutely. So that people are aware and people are knowledgeable. Because the other thing is some cancers, like, the bowel cancers, quite non-specific symptoms like just nausea and tiredness. And so people don't know what to look out for. So if a symptom is persistent, you're feeling unwell for quite some time, it's very important that you go to your primary care clinicians, find out that this is not going away, things are not changing. So that's our aim really of this Cancer Month, to make sure people are aware, people are educated, and people know where to find help, most importantly.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Kgothatso Motumi is the Medical Affairs Director at Roche, South Africa, and talking to us about what is really a conversation for the rest of this month, being Cancer Month.